off the crossbar. Goal! And it's a giant deflect off the goal team. Switch to left field and down for a base hit.
Hunterdon Central is going to win the state finals here tonight.
Mark it on the board. Touchdown, Red Devils. Off the deflection. Off the deflection. Hunterdon Central.
It's always good to be home. It always it gives you an added extra, gives you some extra energy. It's a familiar environment for us, so it's always good to be home. It makes us feel comfortable. I think this is a good week for us to get well. I think this is a very winnable game for us. Franklin may be struggling as well as far as the wins and losses is concerned, but they're a very scary team. They have a lot of athletes, and they can make you look bad on any given play. But I'm pretty confident going into this Friday.
I really love how everyone in the team is very cooperative. We have this very good team energy around us, and none of us, even when we were losing, none of us blamed anybody. I didn't see a single person blame a single lineman, a single wide receiver, nobody. We all just accepted that it was everybody's fault for all the losses.
The first 4 weeks, especially this game against Ridge, we had over 400 yards on offense. We're a great 2020 team. We just need to finish in the end zone, and we have many opportunities. We just need to execute better. Well, especially in the locker room, we always talk to the other players, make sure no one's hanging their heads down, especially after our games. We always make sure everyone has their head up and just looking forward to the next game.
Playing on the road when the other team has their home crowd, they're always affecting us and could maybe affect the call. Say Frankie's telling the O-line to do something and we can't be able to hear it. So I think that us being home and it's our homecoming game, we could maybe affect Franklin.
Week in and week out, it doesn't matter. I call it the black and blue league. It doesn't matter if you're 0-4 or 4-0. It's a tough league. You have to show up and play. But yeah, it'll be big to, hopefully, get this win Friday night for our kids and get the ball rolling in the right direction with confidence. Our confidence level is no different than it was going into week one, and that's what I love about the coaching staff. That's what I love about the group of guys that we have putting on those helmets every single day. So is it frustrating? Yeah, because we're actually doing a lot of good things, and we just make big mistakes in big moments, and those are things that I need to get better as a coach. The players need to start putting it together in the game, but controlling the controllables.
And we welcome you to Stewart Field on a beautiful Friday evening for football. Hunterdon Central taking the field. They're hosting Franklin tonight in a matchup of 0-4 teams here in Flemington. Beautiful night, as we mentioned, fall in the air, and maybe a little bit of desperation as well. Both of these teams looking for their first win of 2021. Hunterdon Central looking to end an 11-game losing streak that dates back to 2019. Glad to have you with us tonight alongside my partner Joe Whalen. I'm Jimmy Sullivan. Joe, we just mentioned it, 2 0-4 teams. Hunterdon Central, though, winnable game for them, a tough schedule for them to open up, but now they're hitting a little bit of an easier stretch where they feel like they can get a couple wins.
Yeah, I think today is a great game for them. I think they've got a great chance at winning this and pulling this one out. I mean, obviously the opportunity is going to present itself to win. You just got to hope Central pulls out this one.
We'll see if they do. They're coming off a 49-20 loss to Ridge. Did have some prolific performances in that game. Notably, Owen Bill, 8 catches, 202 yards, and a couple of touchdowns, and he just narrowly missed the Hunterdon Central receiving record in that game. He had a great day. He'll look to build on that here tonight. Franklin also enters 0-4, and you brought up an interesting point in the pregame, Joe. Both of these teams have played pretty much the same schedule, just a game difference where Franklin had played Monroe and Hunterdon Central played Bridgewater, but both of these teams had a really tough start to the season, dealing with some of the best teams that we have to offer here in Central Jersey, and now finally starting to feel maybe a little bit of relief.
Yeah, I think finally the schedule is going to less toughen itself out. I feel like Central started out with such a tough schedule, and they really put themselves in a tough situation, but I mean, it's football. You got to deal with it, and this is how you win ball games. You just got to deal with whatever comes to you, and tonight's the night. I think Central gets their first win.
The boos you hear are for Franklin. They are taking the field. These teams did not play last year. Franklin beat Hunterdon Central back in 2019. So this will be one that Hunterdon Central looks to take back here tonight, and they haven't been able to move the ball. They only have about 14 points per game scored. Issue has been on the defensive side. They've allowed 40 or more points in 3 out of their 4 games this season. They are averaging over 42 points allowed per game. And Joe, you were a very accomplished offensive lineman back when you played here at Central a couple of years back, but I think you know on the offensive side that it's kind of hard to keep going back and forth when you're giving up 30, 40 points a game and your defense isn't able to get stops.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ransone said it best when we talked to him yesterday. He said when you go down early, you get off schedule, and you're scrambling, and you're just trying to make up points and make up ground. If Hunterdon Central can stay on schedule this week and keep it within 14 points, within 7 points the entire game, I think they've got a great chance this week.
Captains at midfield. So we're just about ready for this one. Hunterdon Central's captains, the quarterback Frankie Lenteni, the aforementioned Owen Bill, Nick Lewis at midfield. Add Vincent Brito to that list as well. For Franklin, it'll be Xavier Henderson and Mikhail Muhammad at center field for them. So Hunterdon Central wins the toss. They will receive to start this one. And that was another thing that Casey Ransone said yesterday. They want to get on the board first. Hunterdon Central has not had a lead this season. Neither has Franklin. So both of these teams, you have to bet, are going to try to come out of the gate roaring tonight and get on the board first.
Yeah, I think Central returning first, taking the ball first is a big move for them. I think if they can get on the board early and quick, I think it's going to be a good chance for them to win. I think Franklin obviously wants to make a stop first drive, but I think Hunterdon Central has a good chance this week to put up points early. They've been moving the ball well. Last week they had over 400 yards of offense, so I think this week's a good chance for them to get on the board early.
Just about ready for kickoff, but first, our national anthem. As performed by the Hunterdon Central Marching Band, our national anthem, and we are just about ready to get started. We told you beforehand, Hunterdon Central won the toss. They will receive, and they will take it from left to right. Cannot emphasize this enough. Absolutely perfect night for weather here at Stewart Field. Temperatures in the 60s. Sun has gone down. Little wind. Just a perfect night for football. And Joe, we were talking about this before the game. I don't think you can really do much better weather-wise. It's just been absolutely perfect all day.
Yeah. I don't really think you can get any better of a day for weather. It's, as you said it perfectly. It's not too warm, not too cold. It's perfect. Not too much wind. Honestly, it's a great night for football, and you just gotta hope it's great. Going to be a great day. Going to be a great game.
Again, both of these teams enter at 0-4. The last Hunterdon Central victory, you got to go back to November 1st, 2019 against Elizabeth. The last Franklin victory, have to go back to November 7th of last year, a 40-13 win over Perth Amboy. Unisa Kamara, back to kick. We are underway in Flemington. Short kick up the sideline. It'll roll back to about the 15. Room to run it across the 25. And decent starting field position for the Hunterdon Central offense on the return from Ryard Hart. They will start at their own 28. And it's Frankie Lenteni, the senior quarterback, anchoring the offense. Last week, 19 of 33, a season high 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he did throw 4 picks in that loss to Ridge. Lenteni committed to Stony Brook to play lacrosse. And you'll see a lot of this tonight, looking over to the sideline. Lines up in the pistol. Fair amount of RPOs in this offense. It's a give to Julio Marsiglia. He's stacked up, not much room. Got a yard, maybe 2. Marsiglia 90 yards last week, and he has done a fine job in his 3 games as the starting running back. Over 300 yards for him. 90 yards last week. Had well over 100 yards in their loss to Bridgewater earlier in September. He departs. Michael Carbo now in the backfield for the Red Devils. He'll get the toss around the edge. Room to run, and Michael Carbo has a first down out near the 40. So, Joe, early on, the offensive line setting the edge here for Hunterdon Central.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ransone talked about it. He thought that their run game especially was going to be big key to the game today, and right now they're showing it. The offensive line is going to try and flex their muscles, if you will, and try and move the D-line and get some push up front and really try and pound the ball down their throats tonight.
Bit of a younger offensive line for Hunterdon Central this season. They've adapted the scheme to that. Carbo tries to run behind it, not much there. Got a yard, 2nd and 9. Good crowd here tonight at Stewart Field. Near side bleachers almost full. Student section fully full. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Night. You see a lot of the fans on the central side wearing pink. On this, the first night of October. 2nd down and 9. Lenteni will keep it. Checks it out of the backfield. Has his man. Out of bounds, it's Cole Gray. A yard or 2 short of the first down, but 3rd and very manageable for the Central offense. They mark him back at the 47, so it'll be 3rd and 3. So, Joe, they run it 3 times. That was their first throw, a little play action out of the backfield. And now a lot of things open here on 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I think the play action pass will keep the game plan open for them. I know that's going to be a big key for them because if they're going to try and run the ball, play action pass will be open. You're going to get the linebackers flying up trying to make good plays, and I think the play action pass is going to help them this week.
Especially against a Franklin defense that has a lot of speed. I think that's pretty important too. 3rd down and 3. Lenteni bobbles the snap, rolls left, has a man. It's caught by Bill. Out inside the 30. Needed 3, got 25, and Lenteni put it on a dime for the senior Owen Bill.
Yeah, that was just a great play. I like the sprint out action to the left, sprinting out, keep the defensive line kind of out of it because when you're running a sprint package, it keeps your quarterback out of trouble and keeps him away.
Bill entered tonight 419 receiving yards in 4 games. Far and away the number 1 target on this Hunterdon Central side is his father, Tom, Hunterdon Central great in his own right, and one of the assistants for the Red Devils. Bill gets it one more time. Another first down the sideline and inside the 15. It's been rollout, it's been play action early, and the Red Devils are in business. gain of 14 for Owen Bill. Give to Marsiglia, up the middle with room, touchdown Central.
That was just a great play for Central. I mean, you've seen it a lot. They've been motioning. They're keeping their defense guessing, and that was just very well executed block. Opened up a huge hole for Marsiglia, and he just pounded it in. It's a great run.
14 yards untouched through the Franklin defense, and for the first time in 2021, the Red Devils have the lead. Third touchdown of the year for the senior Julio Marsiglia. A 72-yard drive, lasted about 2.5 minutes. Brian Colodi's extra point is wide left. So the lead stays at 6-0. Second missed extra point of the year for Colodi.
That was just a great drive, though. I mean, moved the ball well, kept the drive moving. Every third down they faced, they converted on it. And honestly, that's just how they've been playing offense. Just this week, they punched it in first. They didn't stall out in the red zone, which they have done a couple times this year. This is just a great drive overall. Everybody blocked well. Balls were thrown on target. Catches were made. Nothing more you can ask for.
Yeah, they got the run and the pass going. I think you referenced it, Joe. You have to love it as an offensive lineman. Seeing the push that they got in the trenches, the room that the running backs had, and the quarterback Lenteni as well. Really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, if you can move a defensive line like that and keep holes open and just let your running back run through untouched and keep scoring, I mean, there's no better feeling in football.
So now we'll see Franklin's offense for the first time, as Brian Colodi will kick it away. .9:35 to go, first quarter, 6-0 our score in favor of Central. High short kick by Colodi. It's juggled and fair caught around the 25-yard line by Benjamin Bangura. Correction, it was Mikhail Muhammad. So right at the 25 is where this Franklin offense will start it. They're led by the junior quarterback Samuel Mattia. They've had a hard time moving the ball this year, but what they do well is run the ball. Kasim Ashford is their running back. He's going to get a lot of touches tonight. They like to run the ball well. And the stats we have, that covered 2 games, Ashford averaged over 20 carries per game and 332 total yards. Spread it out early. It is a give to Ashford around the edge. He's got room to run and a good gain for a first down. He picks up 11 on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of this from Franklin. We're going to see a lot of outside zone, a lot of outside carries. They're going to try and beat Central around the edges because Central in the middle, they've been tough this year. They're hard to run through the middle and the A gaps and B gaps right up the middle. I think their front 7 has done a good job in the middle. I think Franklin's going to try and keep it around the edge, keep it away from those linebackers.
And Hunterdon Central has given up space around the edges this season. They've been had a number of different times in that area. Mattia's going to throw this one high pass through the hands of Messiah Hamilton Hill and incomplete. It was a high throw from Mattia, and Hill couldn't quite yank it down. Again, we do not have complete stats for Franklin for one reason or other, but in the 2 games we do have, Mattia just 7 of 27 for 45 yards through the air.
Definitely a run-heavy offense.
Clear what the strength is, and we've got a whistle and a penalty on Franklin. It's a false start, and that will set up 2nd and 15, and now Franklin finds itself behind schedule, something that Central has dealt with a fair amount so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an unforced error. I mean, You can't let that happen to you. That's gonna stall out a drive. That'll just completely kill your momentum. If you're driving and you get a false start penalty like that, you put yourself behind the sticks. I think that really can hurt you. So let's see how Franklin plays this out.
Franklin is averaging just 10 points per game on the season. They were shut out last week at Phillipsburg. It'll be a toss around the edge, and they'll get a couple. It will be 3rd and long. That was Ashford again. It'll be 3rd down and long. He got 2, and it's 3rd down and 12 or 13. Pressure rolling out, he's sacked. Back inside the 30. Connor Lancaster, the first man there.
Connor Lancaster takes after his older brother Chris, playing middle linebacker, flying like a heat-seeking missile, if you will. He comes out, he always has a nose for the ball. He's always around the ball. I mean, any game you watch, you see Connor. He's always in on tackles. He's always jumping in. He's not afraid to hit.
He's got a high football IQ, which runs in the family,
Yep.
I think you could say. Trevor Fish back to receive the kick as the snap comes in. High punt and not very deep. It'll take a Franklin bounce into Central Territory. It rolls dead at the 38. So it's a punt of 35 yards. Traveled maybe half that distance in the air. Now the Hunterdon Central offense looks to continue their momentum from the first drive. Drove it right down the field, capped off by a 14-yard TD by Julio Marsiglia.
Yeah, I think this drive I expect to see more of the same, a little bit of motion, but mostly play action passes and runs. I mean, they're just going to try and beat them at their own game. They're going to play power football, hands in the dirt, and they're just going to run the ball this week.
Marsiglia again, this time he's tied up, not much room. Got about 2 yards. And it was Gabriel Lynch on the tackle. Casey Ransone gets the play into his quarterback. He is in his 5th year at the helm here in Flemington. 12-27 record for him. John Peskowski calls the shots for Franklin. One more time to Marsiglia. He finds room again. Bursts into Franklin territory inside the 45.
Once again, you're seeing this offensive line. They're starting to get a good push up front, and they're really pushing the pace now. Hurry up offense, getting set quick. Going to try and keep Franklin's defense on the field, keep them out of breath, or keep them out, and don't let them substitute and get fresh legs in there.
Now, that's a good point. Hunterdon Central has not substituted on either of their drives that I've been able to see, at least not meaningfully. So they have a first down in Franklin territory. They feed the hot hand once more. He finds more room. Julio Marsiglia, another big gain down to the 30. And there's a Franklin player down behind the play. Clock stops, 5:46 to go. We are obstructed from our view. We can't see the number of the Franklin player, but once we do, we'll pass that along as he's down at about the 45-yard line. But Joe, I think you cannot help but be impressed by this Hunterdon offense so far. They get a touchdown on the first drive, and they are running wild here on their next drive with Julio Marsiglia getting big gain after big gain.
Yeah, I think, if you watch every single game week to week, the offensive line has progressed very well. They've all come into their positions. They're very young up front. But right now you can just see that they're really working well as a unit. They're pushing the line. They're actually getting a great push on the offensive line. They're opening holes, and it makes Julio Marsiglia's job easy. He just looks for the spot to run, and he just has to take off. It's not too much cutting. He's just a one cut and go. I love the running style Julio's running. He runs playing old-fashioned football, if you will.
So the man down was Cameron Anderson as he walks off. Anderson figures pretty prominently offensively as well. He's one of their tight ends, one of their starting tight ends. He limps off to the sideline, a potentially big loss for Franklin. First down and 10, a gain of 15 from Marsiglia on that last run. Everybody up in the box now for Franklin. Monteni throws short. He's got Bill. Owen Bill. Touchdown, Red Devils.
That's just a fantastic play call by the coaches right there. That's just fooling them. They've been stacked the box, and they spread them out. And when you have 8 guys in the box, that just puts your cornerbacks on an island. Owen Bill's a great athlete. You put the ball in his hands, he's got a chance to take it every single play.
Yeah, that is not a preferable task one-on-one going up against Owen Bill. And he both is bigger than corners and can also outrun them, and that's very hard to stop.
Yeah, he's got a big size and speed advantage, and that play really showed it. He was just bigger, stronger, and faster than the corner that was covering him.
You can see why he's getting Division I interest. Colodey's extra point this time is good, and a 13-0 lead for Central halfway through the first quarter. "29 yards on the pass from Lenteni to Bill. The Red Devils have it all working right now. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Joe, they're in the driver's seat, and I don't think they could have scripted a much better start to this game than what they've done tonight.
No, I mean, honestly, perfect situation for them. They got a big stop on defense after Franklin. They self-inflicted error with the false start, put them behind the sticks, gets them off schedule, as we've mentioned earlier. And I think Central's just capitalizing on the opportunities that are presenting itself. And right there is just a great example of this. They got good field position, they moved the ball well, and capped off with a great touchdown.
Owen Bill's 6th touchdown catch of the year. And the 7th touchdown pass from Lenteni. Colodey will kick it away. Another high, short kick off to the right. The up man overruns it, now bobbles it, has to go back and get it. Gonna try to make a return, and he's stacked up inside the 5. Nassan Colson tried to field it, couldn't do that. Tried to run sideways, couldn't do that either. And now Franklin is in horrid field position to start this drive.
Yeah, I mean, that play, I'm sorry, what was his name again?
Nassan Colson.
Colson right there, you could see he was trying to pull out his inner Deion Sanders and just make something out of nothing and run around and hope he was faster than everybody. And that was just great kickoff coverage by Central. Stayed in their lanes, kept them contained, and didn't let them get outside of them.
With forward progress, he was marked down at the 5. Come to think of it, he did look like a little like Deion Sanders on that one, running sideways.
Freestyling.
And high stepping deep into his own territory. A bad spot for Franklin to be in here. So keep it on the ground and get back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, one thing you can notice with Central's defense, they are swarming to the ball. They are flying around. Everybody's getting in on the play. And that's something Coach Bill has always preached, even since when I went here and when my brothers went here. He's preaching everybody fly to the ball, everybody get in on the action. And right now it's showing with Central's defense. They're swarming the ball carrier, and they're not letting them get outside.
They allowed 1 first down on the first drive, but otherwise a pretty pristine performance for this defense, albeit they have not been out there much. Mattia with Colson in the backfield. Send a man in motion. They'll give it to Colson around the edge. He's got a good gain, and this time running north and south, he gets close to a first down. We'll see if they give him yardage. Needed to get the 15, got it. A gain of 10 and a first down. Joe, I would tend to think that Franklin's going to want to have a sustained drive here, if nothing just to get their defense a rest, because they've been out there pretty much this whole first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, this is a make or break drive for them. I mean, it's early to say that, but you don't want your defense out there the whole game, because then your defense is tired. They're going to be susceptible to giving up points.
Hand it to Colson again. Hassan Colson, tough running, and he should have another first down. He gets another 11 yards on the ground. This is the MO of the Franklin offense.
Yeah, great push up front for the Franklin offensive line. Their guards and center got a good push on the nose tackle, and right there you just saw it. They came out in I formation with the fullback. You very rarely see that anymore, but right there Franklin came out in an old school formation, and right there it worked well for him.
I formation last time, shotgun this time. But a heavy set with 3 tight ends. Mattia will run right. And he gets stacked up. Lost a yard. So it'll be second down and 11. Looks like it might have been Nick Lewis getting there first. Tom Bill calling the shots on this defense for Hunterdon Central. Casey Ransone, very high on him, says he's one of the best schematically. His challenge, keeping this Franklin offense off the board tonight. Mattia back to throw, deep down the left sideline, has a man, but it's incomplete. He's looking for Xavier Henderson.
Great pressure there by Vincent Brito off the edge, came in unblocked and just came in, just put a good hit on him, force a bad throw, force a physical error, because right, if you put a quarterback under pressure like that, they're more susceptible off the line or off target throws. They're not going to be as on target as they would be if they have somebody in their face every single snap.
Brito, the leading tackler on this Hunterdon Central team, came into tonight with 17 total tackles over the game so far. Third down and 11. They need to get to the 36 for a first. Mattia will throw a screen pass, nothing doing.
Great play by Connor Lancaster there, getting out in space and making a good tackle. Kept them short and actually made them lose yards. This is going to help Central out, give them good field possession.
Unisa Cisse made the catch. Lancaster blew it up. A loss of 5 and a punt coming for Franklin. Trevor Fish back to receive for the Red Devils. And it's Mattia, the quarterback, to punt. Sends it away. This one a little better than the last. Fish fair catches, lets it go. And this will roll dead back at the 36. And now the referees are going to confer. Fish did not touch that ball. It looked like he might have gotten hit. So we'll see where they spot the ball. It rolled dead all the way back inside Hunterdon Central Zone 40. They're going to give them possession up to, I believe, the 46. Or not.
Oh, walking it back.
The referee's still going to confer. And you hate to say things like this, but the way the Hunterdon Central offense is rolling might not matter the way they're playing.
I mean, first drive, they started out at, their own 30 or own 25, around there, and they moved the ball well, and last drive there was no difference, even field position at this point. Seems like Central's offense is just well-oiled right now, and they're moving the ball as well as they can.
Minute 27 to go in the first quarter. They spot it down at the 42. Touchdown for Julio Marsiglia, a touchdown for Owen Bill, comprising the scoring so far. Hunterdon Central would get its first win in 23 months. They can keep this going tonight. Marsiglia back to the line. So no gain, and that's going to be a relief for Franklin after Marsiglia has cut them every which way you can so far in this one.
Yeah, I think this drive, though, I expect to see more Julio Marsiglia up the middle. That seems to be their bread and butter play, especially against Franklin right now. They're moving the ball. I also expect to see from the Franklin defense more blitzes from their linebackers. I think they're going to be coming up to stop the run, and that may open up things for the pass game for Central. I think it's going to really help them out. I think it'll help Frankie Lentini out as well.
Well, we saw that on the last drive with the touchdown pass to Bill. He had one-on-one coverage, which also almost never happens for him. And Tenny will throw this one, looking for Bill, and incomplete. Tried a one-hand catch that. Instead, it's 3rd down and 10. And it's the first 3rd down that this Hunterdon Central offense has had all night. Casey Ransone was talking about staying on schedule, not getting behind the chains, so that's what they've done so far. And there's a man down, one of the offensive linemen, Amir El-Menshoui. And that is not what the Red Devils want to see.
You never want to see an experienced player, especially your center.
Yeah.
He's your starting center. Quarterbacks and centers always have to build a big rapport, and that's something you hate to see, especially as a quarterback for Frankie Lentini. Now he's got to warm up with the backup center, Matt Lewis. Or not Matt Lewis, that's his older brother. I'm sorry. Nick Lewis.
I figured you would do it at least once tonight.
Yeah, at least once.
Well, El-Menshoui was somebody that Casey Ransone talked very highly about in our meeting yesterday. Said that he's done an incredible job this season, taking over at center, anchoring the offensive line. Whatever is ailing him right now will be something that they're going to monitor very closely, and they would like to get fixed because this offensive line just probably not the same without El-Menshoui on the field.
No, generally your center is the captain of the offensive line, if you will, because they have to know everything. They have to know where everybody's going on every single play. And so you hate to see the starting center go down, but I think Nick Lewis, I won't call him his older brother's name anymore, I think Nick Lewis will be able to step in and do a good job. He's been a varsity player for 2 years. He played 2019 or 2020, or I guess 2019 was the last season. He was a sophomore, so he's a senior this year. He's going to step in. I believe he was playing, he's primarily a defensive lineman, but I think he's athletic enough, and he's definitely smart enough to know the plays and know where everybody's going. So hopefully he can step in and fill the job well.
3rd down and 10. El-Menshoui helped off to the sideline, but with a rather heavy limp. .34 seconds to go, first quarter. Need to get to the 48 of Franklin to keep the drive moving. Lentini rolls out, throws towards the sideline, away. He's being chased around by a host of defenders on that Franklin side. Unisa Cisse forced him out of the pocket.
Yeah, on that play, Franklin did a great job covering. You could see that they were going man-to-man coverage on that play because as soon as Owen Bill went in motion, the cornerback that was on him went with him, and they had a safety over the top. So it was 4 guys covering 3. So right there, as Franklin's strategy, get Hunterdon Central in a 3rd and long situation and force them to throw the ball so they can drop back in coverage and let their athletes go get a good pass rush on Central.
Decker McNally will boot it away. Nassan Colson back to receive. McNally end over end kick. Colson fields it inside his 30 on a fair catch. So the line drive kick, good enough to keep the dangerous Colson away from a return. And so here comes the Franklin offense, and they have struggled tonight. Central's done a good job defensively, but this run-heavy scheme from the Warriors has yielded some solid plays, but some miscues, a couple of sacks, penalties have put them behind the chains, Joe, and they've just had a hard time getting back on track.
Yeah, I think if Franklin will be able to move the ball a little bit, but Central's defense so far has been swarming ball carriers. They haven't been giving up too big of gains. They haven't been giving up a home run play, if you will. So hopefully you see more of that.
Toss out of the backfield, it's Colson, and he is dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of yards. May have fallen forward back to the line of scrimmage. And that is the end of the first quarter, and a good one for the Red Devils.
Yeah, I don't think you can script a better first quarter for them. And that's just a great start to the game for Hunterdon Central. Hopefully they can take the momentum into the second quarter.
They'll flip sides here. Our score 13-0 in favor of the Red Devils. We'll keep it here between quarters. And you just have to be impressed by the offense, everything they've been able to do tonight on the Central side. Driven it consistently, gotten a good push on the offensive line, albeit with Amir Al-Menshri going down. But otherwise, I think almost a perfect first quarter, you would say, for Casey Ransone's team.
Yeah, they're firing on all cylinders. Every pass has been made, every pass has been caught. You haven't seen any mental mistakes offensively, no penalties so far. So they've been playing a very clean game. And the offensive line has really impressed me so far. They've been getting a great push up front, and they're really moving the ball well. They're moving the ball how Hunterdon Central has planned to move the ball the whole season. This is exactly what Casey Ransone wants to do. He wants to build a lead, and he wants to keep his foot on the floor. He wants to keep the gas up, and he wants to keep running the ball. He wants to chew the clock and just keep the ball moving.
On the other side for Franklin, struggled defensively, miscues offensively have kept them behind the chains. What do you want to see from them in this second quarter on the offensive side? What do you want to see them do to try to claw their way back into this game?
So I've noticed every single time they run a sweep, they've been running it to the short side of the field. If I was them, I would be running sweeps to the wide side. That gives your athletes, gives Colson more space to maneuver, and it gives him a better chance to make someone miss and have a huge home run play.
We'll try it again with Colson. No home run here. He's stacked up for a couple. Jamal Kuhn was just one of the Central players there, along with Vincent Brito and one or two others. A third down and long. Colson gains 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Now, this is a situation Hunterdon Central wants to be in. They want to be in the 3rd and long. They want to bring a linebacker, bring someone else. They'll run a stunt. They'll run something, get their guys in space. And we've seen Vincent Brito off the edge. We've seen Connor Lancaster up the middle, and I think we're going to see more of the same on this play, especially because they're going to try and bring the pressure and force the quarterback to make a bad throw.
Dante McKilla is in the backfield. Mattia will throw short over the middle. Bobble and a catch, but short of a first down. Henderson made the catch. Kuhn made the tackle. It's 4th down. Is this one where Franklin could possibly go for it? I know it's early. I know you're deep into your own territory.
I think you go for it if I'm Franklin. I think at this point, if you give Hunterdon Central one bad punt, puts Central in a great spot to score more points. And I think if I was the coach for Franklin, I would be going for this, but he's opting to punt. I think he's going to try and get a good punt out there, pin Central deep, hopefully for them.
Now he does have the quarterback on the field, Mattia. That helps you with fakes. But they're sending it away. It's nearly blocked. High, short kick. Takes a good bounce. And down to about the 32.
Once again, a great Franklin roll for Mattia punting.
Yeah.
Every single punt, all 3 of his punts have gotten good rolls. So
he sends up kind of a knuckleball, and then it lands, and it rolls exactly how he wants it to roll. It's a ton of topspin on it, and it works. I don't play golf, so I'm not sure how exactly you do that, but
I play golf, and I can't do that.
What's your handicap?
I have no idea. Probably we'll say 15.
All right, that's not bad. Hey, the most important thing is you have a good time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. We're not here to judge. 1st down and 10 for the Red Devils. Lenteni with a touchdown pass to his credit tonight. He'll give it to Marsiglia, falls forward, and gains a yard or two.
Now, in that play, you could clearly see Franklin's linebackers are coming up to fill the hole, and I think that's going to open up a big play for Central in the play-action game. I think one big block on a play-action pass, and I think it's going to be open for them, and I think they have a good chance to have a huge play on a play-action pass.
And we've seen them consistently tonight, 8, 9 guys in the box trying to stop the run. You see that setup again here. Lenteni's going to throw. It's Carbo out of the backfield. And the backup running back is spun down, shy of a first down. Sets up a 3rd and short. They mark him out at the 40, and it'll be 3rd down and about 2.
I do like that swing pass, though. I think that's a good play for them. It gets a good athlete in Carbo out in space and just puts the ball in your athlete's hands and just let him go play. I think too many teams try and run too many complicated plays, and I think at some point you just got to let your guys play.
Casey Ransone yesterday said it's a game of Jimmys and Joes. Right, Joe?
Not X's and O's.
3rd down and 2. Need to get to the 42 for a first. Carbo's got it, and some more. Inside the 45.
That was just perfect blocking. It was seemed like a read option type play, but great job by the offensive line getting a good push on that left side and kept the defensive end out, kept them out of the play, and that's just a great run play for Hunterdon Central.
Gain 17. They go no huddle. It's Trevor Fish on the screen, and he's spun down inside the 40 with a gain of 5.
I wouldn't be shocked if you see Hunterdon Central really pick up the pace and really push it this drive, because if they can keep Franklin's defense out there, their guys are going to be tired. They're not going to be able to get subs in and out like you usually would.
Alberto Martinez made the stop. Run up the middle to Carbo. Sidesteps the defender. Goes outside. 1st down. And down to the 32. So it's been Michael Carbo, the junior, who has been predominantly featured on this drive. He gains 6 on that run and moves the sticks. And the Red Devils offense has noticeably picked up the pace in these last few plays.
Yeah, definitely they're going fast paced. They're not going to let Franklin get subs in. They're not going to let them get fresh legs. I mean, this is going to be big for Central's pass game because defensive backs dealing with these wide receivers, they can give them fits.
This one will be a throw. It's Bill on the outside. Another 1st down and down around the 20. Gains 11. And that one-on-one matchup for Owen Bill comes through again.
Exactly. I mean, you could tell Franklin was not going to let Owen Bill beat them over the top, so they were going to give that underneath route. And right there, it's just a great ball by Frankie Lenteni, just putting the ball in an athlete's hand, just letting him go.
He has looked for Bill early and often tonight. That time they get 11. 1st and 10 from the 21. Play action. Looking sideline out of the reach of Trevor Fish. 2nd down.
Now on that play, it was a great play by Franklin's defensive end. They were reading off him, hoping he would collapse in. He actually held up Cole Gray, who would have been the check down route. And that was actually just a fantastic play by Franklin's defense. And they're hoping to keep doing that, keep having good plays, and just hopefully stack them up.
$7:09 to go, 2nd quarter. And a pivotal point in this game early on. Carbo. Nothing there. Lost yards. Driven down into the turf. Lost a couple, and the play was made by Joseph Funachukwu. It'll be 3rd down and long.
This is an obvious passing situation, and Franklin's getting their big boys off the field. They're getting fresh legs, fresh pass rushers in the game, and you're going to see a big pass rush from Hunterdon Central, or not Hunterdon Central, Franklin on this play. They're going to try and get after Frankie Lenteni.
Oh, they almost jumped up sides there, and Achukwu off the edge. The anchor of this defense made that stop on Michael Carbo and drove him down behind the line of scrimmage. Fish in motion. Lenteni to throw. Looking for Bill, and he's got it! Pulled it in with his left hand. First and goal, Red Devils. Down at the 5.
That was a great pitch and catch from Frankie Lentini to Owen Bill. They obviously have a great connection with the passing, pass chemistry, and definitely Owen Bill is his #1 target. He's looking to every big play they need. That's who the ball's going.
Even in double coverage like that time.
Yeah, exactly. Double coverage, and they're still going for him. I mean, that's just showing trust in your guy and just hopefully knowing he can go up and get it. So that was basically Hunterdon Central saying, my guy's better than your guy, and he's going to go make a play.
Well, Franklin needs a timeout. I don't know if they were misaligned or if this is a situation like basketball where a team's on a run and you just want to stop it by any means possible. But Central, 5 yards away from another touchdown and really taking control of this game, Joe. They've been awfully impressive here in the first half.
Yeah, the offense looks great. They're firing on all cylinders, and Franklin's defense, you can tell they're a little tired. Their offense hasn't been moving the ball as well as they would hope to be, and their defense has been on the field most of this game so far. So interesting to see how, it's going to be interesting to see how Franklin stacks up this with 5 yards to go. I think they're going to pack the box. I think they're going to load it up, and they're going to put 9 in the box and try and stuff the ball. I don't know if Central's going to go with Marsiglia or Carbo. I think, personally, I would go with Marsiglia, power back, put in the big boy, and let him bound it in.
Marsiglia runs so hard to tackle. And, you know, you said kind of the one-cut style running back where he's just going to hit the hole so hard that it's difficult for the defense to stop.
Yeah, you very rarely will see him get knocked back and fall backwards. He's going to fall forward every single run, no matter how many guys are hitting him. He's definitely going forward.
It is Marsiglia in the backfield. They do stack up the box. Central runs it anyway. Marsiglia plowing forward. Flag is down. Marsiglia is short, but we'll check the penalty. And it's a hold on Central.
That right there, that's a play you hate to see as a former offensive lineman for Hunterdon Central. A holding call can potentially kill your drive. And I'm interested to see what Central does with this. They're going to be moved back to probably around their 15-yard line. So it's going to be first and goal again, but from their 14.
Where'd you play on the offensive line? What?
I played tackle.
Tackle, okay. Left, right, you play both?
I played right.
Yeah. See, tackle I thought was always a really kind of tough position to play because you're dealing with the really fast defensive ends, and you kind of saw that there where there's a lot of speed on the edge for Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin's always done that. Even when I played, they put athletes at defensive end. They're going to try and make plays off the edge.
Marsiglia again plows forward, gets a couple. Second and goal from the 12.
Franklin's defense, they're stacking the box and they're starting to stiffen up. They know what's coming. They know they're going to run the ball up the middle. They know Central's going to try and push them off the ball. And right now, once again, they've got 8 guys in the box.
Approaching 5 minutes to go, second quarter. It's been all Central so far. Another handoff to Marsiglia, another couple of yards. It gets down to the 10. So it'll be third and goal. Passing situation for Lenteni.
Definitely a passing situation. I don't see a run up the middle. That's a hard call for 10 yards away on third and goal.
They spread it out with 3 wide receivers, but Franklin still stacking the box. Lenteni will throw for it. Backing up, stepping up, spun down and sacked. Unisa Cisse.
That was just a great play on him. And you could see it as soon as the play was snapped. He was coming off the edge. He was going to bend the corner, and he actually did it. Perfect technique, ripped off the edge, and came out hard. And Frankie Lentini, nothing he can do there. It's hard to get away from a player that's squaring you up like that.
Well, Lentini did get forward and only lost a yard. And as of this moment, the offense still on the field for Central.
I think you go for it. I think this is an obvious passing play, and if you can score, you go up 3. It's a 3-score ball game if they score here. Is there a penalty on that play?
I did not see a flag, but I suppose there was.
Yeah, 3rd down again.
A hold penalty, so no automatic first down on that. 3rd and goal from the 6. Apologies for the confusion. As we get a whistle and a Central timeout. And I think Casey Ransone's, I wonder if he's not saying the same thing we were, where I didn't see a flag thrown. And even if there was, it was not communicated in the way that penalties usually are.
Yeah, I honestly had no idea that there was a penalty on that play. I thought it was going to be 4th and goal again from the 9-yard line or so.
Joey Valentino was calling for a penalty, and apparently he got it. But whatever the case may be, 3rd and goal from the 6.
Benefits Central.
Absolutely. They do burn the timeout, but I think this is about best case scenario given what happened on that last play.
Definitely. I mean, that was a big play for Franklin's defense. They stiffened up and actually got a sack. Forced a loss of yards and put Central deeper and made a much harder play call for them and much tougher decision. But that penalty, once again, it's an unforced error from Franklin.
And now John Paskowski, the Franklin coach, is giving the side judge the business. Well, you can understand the frustration, the way these teams have been going. Both 0-4. Both playing a really tough schedule early on.
Yeah, both trying to get their first win of the season, and you can see it. They're definitely upset about that penalty call.
So now that that's settled, 3rd and goal. Lentini backing up, has Marsiglia on the screen, touchdown. 1 on the ground, 1 through the air. Julio Marsiglia into the end zone for a 2nd time.
That was a great play call. Fooled them completely with the screen. Franklin's defensive line, maybe a little bit more undisciplined, so they completely rushed upfield, ran after Lentini, and that was just a great play call from Hunterdon Central right there. That's exactly the play call you could have. That's the best play call for them. Going with the screen pass, it fools everybody, and they got their offensive lineman out in space blocking smaller guys.
Marsiglia's first receiving touchdown of the year. And Collodi's extra point makes it 20-0. All Central in this first half, 3:41 to play in the second quarter. Yeah, I think it's just about time to go for Franklin. It's only the first half, but they have not maintained possessions offensively. And defensively, you could tell, and you said it throughout that last drive, this defense is tired, and they need to, A, get a rest, but B, this offense needs to start putting up some yards and getting some points.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. If you play defense, you know how hard it is if the team's driving on you constantly and chewing the clock down. I mean, that drive alone was like 5 or 6 minutes, and it was a definitely tough, grueling drive for Franklin's defense to deal with, and they've been on the field the whole first half. So, I mean, hopefully for Franklin, their offense can move the ball a little bit more, get their guys in space, but I'm definitely expecting more throwing from Franklin this drive. I don't think they have enough time on the clock to be running their general power O offense.
Collodi will send it away. Another high, short kick. Hassan Colson fields at the 25. And he pushes the pile forward to about the 35. So good starting field position for Franklin as they try to get their offense on the board. They've they've gotten some good runs in the ground game, but it's just the miscues on this Franklin offense. A couple big plays by the Central defense have stalled these drives.
Yeah, Franklin has showed flashes that they can move the ball. They definitely have a high-powered offense, and they're definitely a dangerous team. They can go score at any point in time. They have some home run hitters on their offense. So, I mean, Central can't take their foot off the gas right now, and they need to keep applying pressure.
Give it in the backfield and a big loss. Mateo Brito was the first man there, as Colson was driven back. Marked down at the 32, a loss of 3.
Great play there, too, by Gavin Horn. The defensive lineman came in right through, shot a gap, and that was just a great play by him. Very great play. I mean, it's always impressive when you see a big guy, defensive tackle, come in and actually make a great play on a running back like that and stop him out in space.
It was a loss of 3. It's 2nd and 13. Back at their own 32. And whistles before the snap. Timeout Central. That's their second of the half. So Central down to 1. And Franklin still has 2. Then a 2:51 to go in this second quarter. So we were talking about the Central offense, and Joe, you said something interesting before the game. You were talking about back in your senior year, you guys had a really good offensive line. You guys were running I formation, get 4 yards, call it a day. Totally different scheme now. We're seeing spread, 3-4 wide receivers, and they've really built the scheme around their players, and I think you have to give Casey Ransone a lot of credit because we're seeing the results tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great job by them to change up the scheme a little bit. It fits if you can fit an offense to a personnel. Like my senior year, we had a bunch of big guys on the offensive line, so we were able to run 3 yards in a cloud of dust, if you will, in the offense. But right now, I'm loving what I'm seeing from this offense. They fit the scheme perfectly. Their offensive linemen are able to keep up pace, and they're able to push the tempo and really force Franklin's defense to stay out on that field and not get their substitutes in and get a breather. So you can definitely tell the offensive scheme has helped them out a lot with the more hurry-up offense.
Mattia will throw. Has a man off his hands, incomplete. And frustration for Unisa Cisse. Check that, Corey Charles, I beg your pardon. Charles was open on the slant, just went right off his hands, and he was very frustrated with himself after the play.
Yeah, I've noticed every passing play for Franklin so far, I don't think the ball has been moved past 5 yards.
Yeah.
It's all been quick slants and more plays like that, so I think they're just trying to get the ball out as quick as possible and get a good player out in space and hope he can get something done with it, because I don't know. I mean, they obviously are not a prolific passing offense, so I guess that's just going to be their game plan passing the ball. I don't think they're going to be running any deep shots like Hunterdon Central does with Owen Bill, because Franklin Tinney's got a good arm,
right? Good
enough arm to throw the ball 30, 40 yards and get Owen Bill open deep.
Yeah,
I don't think Franklin's going to be doing that.
This is not, if you keep track at home of the depth of throw, as they like to say, this is not an offense that's going to have a very high depth of throw. It's going to be a lot of short throws, as you said, the slants, the screens, the quick throws. And that's what's worked for them so far this year. They've got 3rd and long here, and it's an interesting situation for Central. They've got 2 timeouts, 2:43 on the clock. If they get a stop here, they could maybe consider either using a timeout or letting it run, getting the ball back with about 2 minutes to go. And as you said, with Frankie Lenteni's arm, with Owen Bill's separation ability, it's an offense that's been prolific so far, and they could look to get even more.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity. If Central's defense could force a stop here, if they could force an incomplete pass, that stops the clock, and that gives Hunterdon Central plenty of time to move the ball. And the way they've been moving the ball this half, I wouldn't be shocked if they could put another score up on the board.
It's 3rd and 13. They got to get to the 45 for a first down. They're going to throw the screen again off the hands and again incomplete. And that time it was Nassan Colson who couldn't make the catch, but a penalty flag down, illegal motion on Franklin, and it's declined.
Yeah, that was a perfect play for Hunterdon Central's defense. That took 4 seconds off the clock, 2:39, and they're going to get the ball back. I don't think Franklin's going to be going for this one.
Well, I've seen stranger things.
True.
But they're going to send the punt unit on. And Trevor Fish will be back to receive for Central. Mattia, the quarterback, to punt for a 4th time. The junior back at his own 20. Low kick, returnable for Fish. Evades a man at the 40. And Central will start in Franklin territory as Fish takes it to the Warriors' 48.
That's just a good return by Fish, just getting what he can get. I mean, not trying to do too much with the ball, just got out of bounds, kept it simple, and just gained a few yards and put Central in a great spot, great field position for them.
So a timeout remaining for Central. As they spread it out, 2:29 to go, second quarter. On a brilliant night at Stewart Field. Guess who? Owen Bill. Trying to make a move. And he's stacked up. Marked down at the 41 with a gain of 7. Franklin came away with the ball. Brandon Donald came away with it and then kind of tossed it away. I think some of the crowd might have wanted to delay a game.
Yeah, I will say on that play, that was a great block by Trevor Fish. Stayed with his cornerback and gave him space to run. And that right there is just, that's something they preach every single day at practice, is wide receivers getting out in space and putting out good blocks.
Fish is just 5'7", does not play like it.
No, he plays a lot bigger. He plays like he has a 6-foot frame.
Ample time for Central. 100 seconds to go, first half. Lenteni will keep it around the edge, and he falls forward for a first down. Down to the 37. Minute and a half to go.
And clock stops after first downs until they reset the chain. So it's like college football in that way. So that's good for Central. If they can keep gaining first downs, it's going to keep the clock from moving.
Back up here on the HCTV live stream. Apologies for any technical difficulties you may have encountered. Lenteni will throw a screen. It's caught on the outside. That's Devin Falvo stacked up at the line of scrimmage. And now the clock's running inside of 40 seconds. We're glad you're with us here on HCTV. Lenteni to throw. Looking end zone. Bill! Touchdown, Owen Bill! What a throw! What a catch! And a fitting way to end the first half.
Yeah, I don't think you could draw up a better play than that. Frankie Lenteni just lobs the ball up on a corner route to Owen Bill, and Owen Bill's just open. And a ball like that, almost impossible for him to drop it.
Second time those two have connected for a touchdown tonight.
And that makes this a 4-score game. I mean, that's huge for Hunterdon Central's Hunterdon Central going into the half. They have all the momentum right now.
A sterling drive to end the first half. Colodey's extra point is good, and it's 27-0 Red Devils. There's a team that went winless last year, winless so far this year. And Joe, You played on this sideline for 4 years. This has to feel good
for
these guys.
This is going to be a great feeling for Hunterdon Central to go into the half with a 4-score lead like this, and hopefully they can keep this momentum rolling. And it's just great to see. They've showed flashes. They've showed that they've moved the ball well against Ridge, like we said earlier. 400 yards of total offense, but they couldn't punch it in. This week, everything's working for them. They've been able to move the ball, doing whatever they want. Offensive line's getting a good push, and they're also doing a great job protecting Frankie Lentini this week. And it's just showing how well they're playing tonight.
Lentini, 3 passing touchdowns tonight, 2 to Bill and 1 to Marsiglia. For Bill, he's up to 7 TDs on the year, and defenses still do not have an answer for the senior tight end. High, short kick. Colson will field on a hop with room to run. And he pushes the pile to about the 40. 5 seconds to go in the half. And some pushing and shoving after the play. But no flags.
I expect to see Franklin come out in a victory formation. I don't know if they're going to be taking a shot, trying to make a big play. You're 62 yards back. I think best case for them, kneel the ball, let the clock run out, and go to halftime. And hopefully they can find for them, they're going to hope to try and find an answer for this Hunterdon Central offense that's been firing on all cylinders.
Well, there's not many quarterbacks on earth, let alone at the high school level, who can make this kind of throw to the end zone.
Exactly.
They'll put 5 deep just in case. They go I formation, goal line set. And Matia's just going to take a knee. A dream first half for Central as they take a 27-0 lead into the halftime break. 3 touchdowns for Frankie Lentini, 2 touchdowns for Owen Bill, and it's all Red Devils after 24 minutes at Stewart Field. Once again, our score, Central 27 and Franklin nothing. The halftime report is coming up next. You're watching HCTV Live. We'll be right back. Back for the halftime report. Jimmy Sullivan, Joe Whalen with you. And before we come back to start the second half, we'll take a look at the career of a Red Devil currently earning his stripes in the NFL.
Now on the field, please welcome your award-winning Hunterdon Central Regional High School Marching Red Devils. The Marching Red Devils are under the field direction of student drum majors Abigail Davidson and Lauren Sherman. Tonight, we present Piano Rhapsody Encore, featuring the movements Classical, Rhapsody in Blue, and Rock.
now 1 winning.
Second half just about ready to start here at Stewart Field. It's all Hunterdon Central so far tonight. 27-0 our score. The Red Devils lead the Warriors here in Flemington. Joe and Jimmy with you here on a gorgeous night for football. And Joe, you said something astounding to me at half. For the first time ever, you got to see the Hunterdon Central Marching Band.
Yeah, I mean, very good. I'm a big fan. I mean, I always played, and this is one of my first games back since I went to school, and I will say I was very impressed with the marching band. They played Piano Man. I love that song.
With no piano.
No piano.
It was great.
It was awesome.
So you got to see that, and you also got to see a wonderful first half from Hunterdon Central.
Unbelievable.
Start to finish, the offense was rolling. 3 touchdown passes for Frankie Lenteni. They had the ground game going. They had the run game going. Multi-dimensional offense. And for the first time in a while, a big lead at half for Hunterdon Central.
Yeah, it's been very impressive. It was a really impressive first half for Hunterdon Central. They came out firing. First drive went right down the field, 75 yards, and punched it in on a big run by Julio Marsiglia. So far, they've controlled the line of scrimmage, and that's been the big key to this game, is them controlling the line of scrimmage and controlling the ball.
Franklin will get the ball first to start this second half. Their offense, led by Samuel Mattia and Nassan Colson, just struggled mightily in that first half. Had a few decent plays, but drop passes, penalties, otherwise untoward miscues really derailed that Franklin offense in the first half. And you said it, we saw flashes of what they can do, but the problem is they've made too many mistakes, and also a credit to the Hunterdon Central defense for what they've been able to do as well.
Yeah, the Hunterdon Central defense came out, and they came out ready to play to this week. They looked ready to go, and they came out, they swarmed the ball, but as you said, Franklin has made a lot of miscues that have helped Central out. They've gotten behind the sticks, and they've put themselves in bad situations that are honestly horrible for their offense. They're a running ball offense. They're a run-first team, and when you get behind the ball in 3rd and 15, you can't run the ball anymore. You have to throw.
Brian Collodi will kick it away. Low kick, rolls down at the 15, and it can be returned up to about the 30 by Mashoud Babalola. So that is where Franklin will start their drive to start the second half, and you have to think points pretty much imperative here given the position they're at in the game.
Yeah, I think this is a make-or-break drive for them to start off the half. If they can start off well and put some points up, it might actually apply a little bit more pressure to the Hunterdon Central offense for them to score. If Franklin can go out and prove that they can actually score and that they're a real dangerous offense, because I think they are. They have showed flashes. They have showed that they can move the ball. So I think this is a good drive for them to really come out and actually try and put some points on the board and make this more of a ball game. This would be big for them to not let Hunterdon Central run away with it.
Mattia struggled in the first half, but was not helped at all by his wide receivers. And a timeout. Oh, boy.
That is not a good start for Franklin.
I think that falls under the ledger of that can't happen, right?
Yeah.
Timeout on the first play.
5 seconds into the second half, and you're already using a timeout. I mean, that is just something that you do not like to see if you're a Franklin fan.
So they're down to 2 for the half. And I don't know where the miscommunication was, but you got to know coaches hate that.
Yeah, it seemed like they weren't lined up correctly. They seemed like they had guys moving around, and they didn't have anybody in the right spot, or they didn't either called the play wrong, or there was something going on where they didn't communicate the play well, and they just put themselves in a horrible situation, because that could come back to bite them.
Sure.
That could be something that if they do make this a close ball game, they could need another timeout, and they just used it on the first play of the half.
Yeah, especially when you're down late in the games. You know, you want to stop the clock. But whatever the case may be, it's Colson around the outside, and he's dragged down for a loss. Couple of Central defenders there to make that stop and drag him down for a loss. Patrick Kazmarek was one of them.
The Hunterdon Central defensive front has looked very good in keeping Colson bottled up today. They've been keeping contained well, and they haven't let him get outside and get one-on-one with someone smaller, because he is a big guy. He's a big running back, so him one-on-one with the smaller cornerback would be a mismatch, but Hunterdon Central's defensive ends have done a very nice job keeping him inside.
Franklin behind the sticks again, 2nd down and 11. Mattia going to roll it out. Looking over the middle, low throw, incomplete. And that play was blown up the middle, and it was Anissa Cisse trying to dive to make that catch. 3rd down and long.
Once again, this is not a good start for the Franklin offense. Coming out second half, first drive, and they've already got behind the sticks in a 3rd and 11 situation. This is an obvious throwing situation. Hunterdon Central can either bring pressure or drop more in coverage and try and protect themselves from getting beat over the top.
Well, Franklin's going to need a big play at some point soon. A minute into this second half, 3rd down and 11 for Franklin. Tia rolling out, under pressure, flings it incomplete. Well over the head of Cisse, and it's 4th down. And pressure up the middle from Kazmarek. So 4th and 11, and it would appear as though the punt unit is on.
No, but as we said, their punter is their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So a fake is always in the works for them. I mean, they theoretically could run one, but
instead, Mattia will send it away. Low kick bounces out of bounds. It'll be good field position for Central. And it's marked out at their own 49. So that's where this offense will get the ball, and they have been so good tonight. They've got everything going. Julio Marsiglia in the backfield has a couple of scores. Frankie Lenteni is thrown for 3. And they'll look to possibly land the fatal blow here on this drive. Marsiglia is stacked up. Well, Franklin's done a little better job in the running game of late after they got gashed in that first quarter.
yeah, they've definitely been doing a better job of loading up the box. They're putting 8 guys up there. They're trying to stop the run. They're going to force Hunterdon Central to throw the ball. But Hunterdon Central, on pass plays, they have protected well. Frankie Lentini's gotten out in space, and he's made some very good throws today.
Centennial throw. Launches it deep for Bill. Incomplete, but a flag. It was man-to-man coverage. Henderson was playing Bill, and that's been an unfavorable matchup for Henderson and the Franklin secondary all night.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a great route by Owen Bill, and that was actually a very smart play by him. Frankie Lentini put the ball a little underthrown, but still catchable for Owen. And with the defender running behind him, Owen Bill stopping to come back for that ball caused the defensive back to run into him and force that pass interference call.
It's interesting. I feel like when the ball's underthrown, I feel like there's actually more pass interference penalties when the receiver tries to come back for the ball. I don't know if, I mean, I'm not going to say that's intentional necessarily all the time, but in that case, it seemed to work out.
Yeah, in that case, it was just a clear-cut case. Owen Bill had him beat over the top. He was outrunning him, but him coming back actually benefited the offense. I mean, that probably would have been either a catch and tackle right there or a pass interference. It was a best case scenario, or worst case scenario, it's a drop and you still get the pass interference, and that's exactly what happened.
So it's a 15-yard penalty and a first down at the 35-yard line of Franklin. Centennial throw once more. It's high, but pulled down. It's Cole Gray and a first down. gains 11. Second catch of the night for Cole Gray.
I actually think this half, I think Cole Gray will play a bigger part in the offense because I think they're going to start keying in specifically on Owen Bill. They're going to put a safety over top, give their cornerbacks help, and I think it's going to leave opportunity for Cole Gray to sneak out on out routes and have big plays there.
Yeah, they've tried guarding Owen Bill one-on-one, but Bill has had the better of that matchup, as he has really all season. He is a stud, I think they say. Owen Bill. Marsiglia falls forward, gains a couple. Well, it's been a bit of a timeshare in the backfield, Marsiglia and Carbo tonight, but Marsiglia is kind of taking over lead back responsibilities in this offense, and he's flourishing on the ground.
Yeah, I think the offensive line's doing a great job of opening up holes, and I think his running style fits perfectly in for this offense with him just one cut, and he runs as hard as he can, full speed into the hole. I think it's perfect for this offense, and it's a great change of pace. If you're throwing the ball well to Owen Bill, defenses aren't going to expect the power back coming through the middle.
Bill in motion. They're going to get it to him. He's got it. Down inside the 20. It's third down. Looks like they ran a little pick play there involving Joey Valentino, the outside receiver. And Bill got about 4. And there's a man down for Franklin. Appears to be Brandon Donald down for Franklin. He's the one who made the stop. So they'll tend to him. We'll hope he's all right. Well, Joe, I know I've said it before tonight, I don't think tonight could have gone much better for Hunterdon Central. A few minutes into the third quarter, they're inside the 20 as the man walks off. That actually was not Donald, that was Xavier Henderson, I beg your pardon. As he gets some assistance but walks off pretty much under his own power. But like I was saying, you can't have imagined anything better tonight for Hunterdon Central, and here they are on the doorstep of the end zone yet again.
Yeah, I mean, the offense has just looked fantastic today. They haven't been forcing any plays. They haven't been trying to force, or there's been no errors forced, and they've just been controlling the game. The offense has done everything, and they've helped the defense out tremendously.
Lenteni to Carbo, and he's stacked up. So a third down stop for this defense. And it was Mikhail Muhammad who made the tackle. So 4th down and 4, and Casey Ransone's going to leave his offense on the field. The last time Hunterdon Central was on this field, they lost 27-0 at the hands of Phillipsburg. Tonight they lead 27-0. What a difference 2 weeks makes. Need to get it to the 14 to keep the drive alive. Lenteni gets it away, incomplete. So it's a turnover on downs as he was in the process of getting spun down by Cisse, and Franklin will take over.
Yeah, it was a great play by the Franklin defense. It was a risky call blitzing on a 4th down like that, but it actually worked out very well for them. They blitzed too many, and only 5 guys you can only block 5 guys with 5 offensive linemen, so that was actually a great play, and hopefully for Franklin's sake, you hope that they start moving the ball a little bit more, because right there their defense did a great job. They stiffened up in the red zone and prevented a score, prevented Hunterdon Central from putting more points on the board.
So that's the stop that Franklin was looking for all night. They get it with 7:13 to go in the third quarter. 4-score game. Warriors offense looking to avoid being shut out for the second straight week. This will be a toss on the pitch to Colson. And he gets stacked up across the 20. Gained about 3. It looks like Kazmarek shaking out his left hand after making that tackle. Patrick Kazmarek, the junior. They gave Colson 4 yards, so second down and 6. And it's Colson one more time. He drags defenders forward across the 25 to the 27, setting up a 3rd and short.
Third and 1, I think you have to think Franklin's going to stick with the ground game on this. I think they're going to go right back to Colson. I'm thinking for them, they're probably going to run another sweep outside. That's what's worked. I think in the middle, Isaiah Robinson has actually done a great job for Hunterdon Central in the middle. He's plugged up holes, and right there he made another tackle, and that's just a great play by the middle there. The middle of the defensive line has done a great job controlling the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 1, flag. False start. Well, there goes the 3rd and 1. Now it's 3rd and 6. And maybe they'll be a little more inclined to throw it here, needing those 6 yards instead of just 1.
Once again, another unforced error for Franklin. They had a good situation, 3rd and 1. It's very manageable for them. Now they get pushed back 5 yards against a tough Hunterdon Central defense who has done very well in passing situations. And as you said, I think move the ball back 5 yards. I think it turns into more of a passing situation for Franklin. They have not done as well as they hoped they would.
More movement on the offensive line. Let's see what the call is here. It's going to be offsides.
Well, I guess they're trading penalties now.
Oh, goodness. So it's 3rd and 1. Mattia under center. They give it to Colson. And he's got the first up to the 30. Dragged down there by Kendall Williams. Inside 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, all Hunterdon Central in case you're just joining us. A couple touchdowns from Julio Marsiglia and Owen Bill, comprising the offense for the Red Devils tonight. Joe Whale and Jimmy Sullivan with you in the broadcast booth. Happy you could join us on the HCTV live stream, wherever you may be watching from. Thanks for spending part of your Friday night with us. Colson around the outside, struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10, as Colson just did get back to the line of scrimmage. And interesting to watch kind of from this Franklin offense. Tempo hasn't increased. They're not really moving any faster despite the deficit. Sort of back on their heels a little bit and not really speeding up their offense to meet with the time constraints of their deficit.
No, you would think down 27 you would pick up the pace, but they have not at all. They've just kept to their game plan.
Colson with a first down at the 40. Well, they are moving the ball on the ground. And Nassan Colson's had a nice night out of the backfield, but other than that, not much to write home about. Passing game has been non-existent, but it's also a big credit to the Hunterdon Central defense. They have been terrific so far tonight.
Yeah, the defense has played lights out, and exactly, it's just a credit to the defense. They put in the work this week, and they're ready for it.
Colson one more time. He's bottled up, dragging a defender forward. Good, tough run from Colson to the 48.
I mean, right now, it's kind of the Colson show.
Yeah.
And their offense has turned into a little bit of a one-dimensional scheme. They're just going to give him the ball, and hopefully he can make a big play for him. And because passing game has not worked for him at all. So Colson's off the field. They got to give him a break. I mean,
Yeah.
you run 8 plays in a row every single time you touch the ball, you're going to be tired.
Yeah. Colson's taking a lot of contact, too, on those runs out of the backfield in the passing game. Brings up a 2nd and 3. And it'll be a toss out of the backfield. This is Henderson, who went off before. And he is out of bounds with a loss of 1. So it'll be 3rd down and 4. Need to get it to the 49 of Hunterdon Central for a first down. Is this one where you would look to air it out, even though they've run it basically every play of this drive?
I think this opens up a perfect opportunity for Franklin to actually run a play-action pass. I think that actually could work for them very well on this play because Hunterdon Central, they have been doing very well in the run game, but their linebackers are starting to fly up more, and that will open up more pass plays for Franklin.
No, it's a run and it's blown up. In the backfield, big loss, Vincent Brito.
That was just an unbelievable play by Vincent Brito. Fly through the hole, stick him as soon as he gets the ball. It's a huge play for the Hunterdon Central defense, and that stops a promising drive for Franklin.
That reminded me of a few years back. There was a play in college when Jadeveon Clowney was at South Carolina, and they were playing, I think they were playing Michigan.
Yep, in the Outback Bowl,
yes,
I believe it was.
And Clowney came in, blew it up. He also recovered the fumble. But
unfortunately for Hunterdon Central, no fumble on that play, but very, very similar play, come flying through the hole and make a big hit on the running back.
4th down and 8, punting situation. Trevor Fish back to return for Hunterdon Central. Mattia kicks it away. Finch will let it go. Bounces out inside the 30. So that is where Hunterdon Central will take over. 1:42 to go, 3rd quarter, 27-0 our score. Now you start looking ahead for Hunterdon Central. Next week at Elizabeth and at East Brunswick the week after. And then 2 home games to close the season, Edison and Union.
Union, I think, looking forward, I think that's going to be their toughest contest for the rest of the season. Union always puts a good team. They always have a good team. They're very well coached. So I think that's going to be the toughest matchup. Every other matchup, I think Hunterdon Central matches up well against against the opponents.
Julio Marsiglio will get the carry, and he's stacked up for a loss. Good work by the Franklin defense. It was John Unachukwu plugging up the middle and forcing the loss. Central can look to slow it down here with the big lead. Lentenny looking to the sideline. Kazmarek in motion. Marsiglia, another loss.
Once again, Franklin bringing the heat. They're gonna try and force a punt this because this is a great opportunity for the Franklin defense. It's an obvious passing down. They're gonna put in their pass rushing defense, I believe, and they're gonna force Hunterdon Central to throw the ball deep and actually not run the ball. They're gonna try and prevent the run from beating them now. They're gonna force Lentenny to beat them on the throwing, but so far in the first half, he looked great throwing the ball.
John Unachukwu made that last stop. So 3rd down and 15. Back at their own 24. Have not seen this offense on the back foot very much tonight for Central. Could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. As Lentenny drops back to throw. Looks over the middle and it's incomplete. Trevor Fish the intended target. And good coverage on the play from Nathaniel Buck. And that ends the third quarter. A scoreless third quarter at Stewart Field. At this point, Hunterdon Central will take that just fine. 27-0 our score. 12 minutes to play. You're watching Central football on the HCTV live stream. We'll keep it here. And I think a lot of positive takeaways, obviously besides the score for Hunterdon Central tonight. But going forward here, Joe, you think about the schedule that Hunterdon Central has ahead, and I think they've shown that, against competition that may not quite be of the caliber that they faced the first few weeks, that they can get some things done. And this offense has moved the ball. Defense has been dominant. And I think an all-encompassing performance that Casey Ransone so far has to be very happy with.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really excited with the way they've moved the ball. I think he put it best. He said we're an 0-4 team, but they're a very good 0-4 team, if you could say that. But they have moved the ball against every team they've played. They've struggled putting the ball in the end zone, but other than that, they move the ball very well. And today they put it all together and actually are punching the ball into the end zone, which has really helped them out.
So it's 4th and long, and it'll be a punt for Decker McNally. Nassan Colson back to receive for Franklin. McNally has not been used much tonight. Gets it away, pretty good kick. Colson caught in between, it's kicked around. Was it touched, and who recovered it? It'll be Franklin ball, as it looked like Akeem Dotson came down on top of it. But nonetheless, anxious moments there for both teams.
Kind of dodged a bullet there for Franklin with their own guy recovering the ball, because that could have been a huge play for the Hunterdon Central offense and special teams to recover that ball, restart your drive basically, and it would have given them a new chance to punch the ball in. They would have been able to move the ball. I think that would have been a big momentum swing, and that kind of would have taken all the air out of the sails for Franklin.
So Franklin instead gets it in Central territory. And by my count, this is the first time they've been in Central territory tonight. It'll be Colson, gain of 4. So that'll make it 2nd down and 6. And now I think might be as much about pride as anything for Central. They've got as our friends across the pond would say, a clean sheet on the board so far tonight. 11 minutes to go to preserve that. And this defense going to pull out all the stops to do so.
Yeah, I think they're going to. Obviously, you always want to have a shutout, and I think that would be huge for Hunterdon Central. It would be a huge boost for them going into the rest of this season to shut out a team like Franklin that they matched up very well against, and they've just controlled this complete game. So I think going into the next week, having a shutout under your belt as your first win of the season would be huge for them.
Again, would be their first win in nearly 2 years. Got to go back to November 1st, 2019 for their last victory. It was against Elizabeth. Teal along the left side, dragged down in the backfield by Kaz Merrick. Loss of 1. That'll make it 3rd down and 7. Franklin is looking for their first points in 2 weeks. They scored 20 in the opener against Monroe, then just 7 and 13 against Ridge and Hillsborough, respectively. They were shut out at Phillipsburg last week, in danger of being shut out at Hunterdon Central this week. And on the other side for Hunterdon Central, a defense that had entered tonight, giving up 42 points a game. It's a much-needed, outstanding performance. Mattia down the sideline. He's picked off. Trevor Fish.
Honestly, I think play like that might have just killed any momentum that Franklin had going into this half. That was just a great play by Trevor Fish. I mean, unbelievable to get back there and keep good hands too. I mean, you can tell he plays wide receiver. Usually defensive backs don't catch the ball.
That's always the joke, right?
Yeah.
When a defensive back drops an interception. Oh, why? That's why he's not playing receiver. Well,
you got a guy going both ways. Obviously he's going to be able to catch it. So, just a great play defensively for Hunterdon Central.
There you go. So a takeaway for the Red Devils defense. Trevor Fish with his first pick on the season. This is a toss to Michael Carbo. Bobbled the exchange, but he takes it across the 30, out of bounds around the 33. Clock keeps running. Second down and 2. And you suspect the Red Devils will be in no rush given the situation. 9:25 to go. 27-0 the score. Carbo takes it again, runs into a wall, bounces out, first down, and he almost had more. Wound up getting tripped up just across the 35-yard line. It was Maurice Finney on the stop, but a first down for Central.
Yeah, I mean, he ran into his own guy, and it somehow worked out perfectly for him. He gave his offensive lineman a little extra help on the push and opened up a lane for him, and he took it. And great run by Carbo.
Does that happen to you a lot, running backs running into the offensive lineman? I feel like it's kind of an every once in a while occurrence.
It happens every once in a while. It doesn't happen as often as you think it would. Just sometimes he'll be blocking, you won't get as good of a push, and sometimes running backs they just need to run into you, and it gives you a little boost and helps you out a little bit. So definitely helpful sometimes, but sometimes it can knock you off your block.
Yeah. Carbo with a gain of 6. Well, sometimes, you're helping the running back, too. I mean, because if he runs into you and he's kind of stumbling around and then you give him a little pick-me-up, it can work out.
Yeah.
See, the offensive linemen do more than just block. It's not just that. I mean, that's a lot of it, but...
That's about 99% of it.
Second down and 4. Give it to Carbo. He spun down with a loss. Back to the 41. Makal Muhammad was there first.
I will say this half, the Franklin run defense has looked very good. They have stopped them when they need to make a stop. They have been doing very well in getting a stop. So I have been impressed with the Franklin defense. It's just the Franklin offense cannot get anything going on the Hunterdon Central defense.
3rd and 5. Solid crowd here tonight. Most of whom have stayed. Good showing in the student section as always. Lentennial throw. Has his man Bill. No answer for him tonight. Out of bounds at the 45. Into Franklin territory with a first down. And Owen Bill victimizing another defense.
I mean, you can't really put it any other way. Anything Owen Bill wants to do tonight, it seems like he's just doing it. They have not had any answer. And right now it looks like they're going to go one-on-one coverage again. I don't think Hunterdon Central is going to be throwing the ball, but if they did, Owen Bill has one-on-one coverage against a cornerback who he has been doing very well against the whole game.
Lentenny with a screen. This is Cole Gray down the sideline. And he's spun down with a first down after a gain of 12.
We got a flag on the opposite side of the field, though.
We'll hold the telephone. As it stands, it would be a gain of 12 for Gray, but we'll see what the call is. By the looks of things, it seems to be on Franklin.
Oh, penalty was waived.
All right. Well, whatever the penalty was, it was declined pretty much out of pocket by Casey Ransone, the Central coach. So, clock continues to run. 1st and 10 at the 34. Whistles before the snap. And a false start. And Casey Ransone is mad at one of his players. I'm not sure who it was that jumped.
I mean, at this point, I think he's just going to be upset that they've caused the penalty like that because they have been playing so well today. But that's another error that if you're playing a team that's putting up more points, something like that can completely derail a drive, and it gets you off schedule, as we've been saying. So that's something you hate to see.
Well, coaches love to use these situations as instructional tools, as Owen Bill makes the catch and goes down inside the 25. First down, Central, and Owen Bill is doing whatever he wants. But as I had started to say, coaches love using these situations for instructional purposes.
Yeah, this is a perfect time for coaches to get younger guys in, get them a little bit more varsity game experience. So definitely helpful for Hunterdon Central to give their younger guys especially experience.
Carbo wrapped up by Isaiah Jackson. He got a couple yards. It'll be 2nd down. And it'll be 2nd down at about 7. As the clock continues to melt away. Toss to Carbo. Looking for room around the edge. He's pushed out of bounds, short of the first. It was knocked out at the 16-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and short. It's a Franklin program that is accustomed to winning, but recently fallen on some hard times. They have not had a winning season since 2012, and if they lose tonight, that streak would continue because Franklin would fall to 0-5 with 4 games to play. We've seen flashes, we've seen talent, but just not the consistency. Michael Carbo has the first down.
Yeah, exactly. You see how good they can be, you see how they can move the ball, and you see everything like that, but they unfortunately have not been consistently moving the ball the entire game. And Hunterdon Central has done a great job. I mean, it's a credit to the cornerbacks, outside linebackers, and defensive ends because Franklin's run game, their strength was outside zones and outside carries, and Hunterdon Central has done a great job bottling up their running backs.
Aside from Nassan Colson, there has not been much success from anyone on that Franklin side offensively. It's been a quiet night. Monteni on the roll, throws back the other way. What a catch by Gray! Touchdown, Central! A leaping catch by the junior Cole Gray. And Central puts the cherry on top.
Yeah, I think at this point, you're going to start seeing more younger guys coming in. I don't think we're going to see very much of Frankie Lentini anymore. I think we're going to start seeing younger guys come in. They're going to try and get them experience. But that play right there is just a perfect example of the great play calling we've seen tonight from Casey Ransone. That was a great throwback drag from the tight end, Cole Gray. They rolled Lentini out right and threw it back left. Nobody was there to stop him.
Brian Collodi for the extra point. Fourth touchdown of the night for Frankie Lentini. He's played a near-perfect game. 4 touchdowns, no picks. He has been awesome from start to finish tonight. And that one, he got a little help from his tight end, Cole Gray. That was some catch. Leaping up to get it and then completing the run, getting it into the end zone. And a tremendous play, and that now makes it 34-0.
Not only was that a great catch, that was a great job by Cole Gray to keep his feet on that play. Kept himself up, kept himself able to keep moving. I mean, I know a lot of guys that try and make catches like that. Even if they make that grab, they fall. And they fall and just take whatever that 3-yard gain that it would have been. That was a fantastic play by Cole Gray, just staying on his feet and getting in the end zone.
That's Gray's first touchdown catch of the year. So they spread the wealth around just a bit. Collodi will kick it away. Collodi kicks it short, kicks it low. And back the other way comes Nathaniel Buck, and he surges forward to about the 35. Well, it's a 5-score game. It's 34-0, and we have a running clock, and there's a man down for Franklin. Let's see what that's about. We'll see who it is. Again, we'll wait to verify before saying definitively who it is. It's in the area where the play ended, so could be anyone who was involved in that tackle of Nathaniel Buck. So the clock stops, 5:07 left to play. Well, Joe, I have to say you are the good luck charm.
Yeah.
It was Nathaniel Buck who was injured, so he is helped off the field. But Joe, you've come in, you've done a great job, and Hunterdon Central has done this. So
I guess so.
What are you doing next week?
Yeah, looks like we're traveling to Elizabeth.
All right, let's do it. Clock will run as Buck heads back to the sideline. It's a running clock whenever it's a 5-score game, as it is here. 34-35 doesn't seem to matter. As you see, a lot of the second stringers coming out for that Hunterdon defense, and certainly a job well done by the first team tonight, holding Franklin down. This will be an end around, cutting back up the middle. That play looked to be dead in the water, but Franklin able to get a couple. That was Xavier Henderson on the run. So Franklin will be 0-5 after this one. Hunterdon Central will be 1-4. That trip to Elizabeth the next week, and at East Brunswick the week after. Winnable games on this schedule for the Red Devils. They've taken advantage tonight. Bobble with the snap, goes back to Colson, and Hassan Colson's going to get a first down into Central territory. Again, the clock keeps running, so no stoppage of the clock with either going out of bounds or the moving of the chains, but Colson out at the 45 with a first down.
I think we might be seeing our first Franklin points of the half, the way they're moving the ball right now. But you got to take it with a grain of salt. Hunterdon Central's playing their young guys. They're getting them experience, so
Colson once more. Only got about 2. John Walther was the first man there. One of the guys getting a chance to play with the game firmly in the grasp of the Red Devils. Well, it's cool to see some of these guys get action. I mean, you can see some of their parents, not sure exactly who's who, but you can see some of the parents, kids who are getting in maybe for the first time this year.
Yeah, definitely excited to see their son get into their first varsity game. So
some of whom are right in front of us. This is Colson with another first down inside the 30. Dragged down by Joey Valentino, one of the starting wide receivers. Now, I take that back. It was Aaron Importico, number 6, not number 8. I beg your pardon. And Colson with a big run to the 29. In case Hunterdon Central gets the ball again, it looks like Devin Falvo's helping warm up the backup quarterback, Ryert Hart. As Colson takes another toss up the middle, first down and more inside the 20. Well, can Franklin get off the schneid?
Yeah, I think this is obviously their best opportunity to punch it in. It's the first time in the red zone for Franklin. I mean, uncharted territory.
Minute and a half to go, clock running. Pride on the line for Central. This is Colson, and he's stacked up. Tries to go forward, gets about 3. Clock continues to run. Well, if Franklin goes at the pace they've been going, they probably got about 2 more plays.
Yeah, they have not picked up the pace as much as you'd think they would in the fourth quarter down. I mean, obviously you never want to get shut out, so you would think they'd be running more of a hurry-up offense, try and get on the ball, get as many snaps in as possible.
Well, that is not what we've seen here. We're going with a little wishbone formation. It's Colson on the toss, and Colson is down inside the 5. So the rate they're going, they'll have 1 crack at it.
Yeah.
Inside of 40 seconds.
I mean, you got to assume they're going right back to Colson. Let him, I mean, he's carried their offense the whole game. Let him score.
Yep, they do. And he does. Touchdown. So that stops the clock. 18 seconds left, and Franklin is on the board. So there will be no shutout tonight. Franklin gets a touchdown. They're heading into a contest against Montgomery next week. That'll be at home. But the touchdown, not indicative of the way Central has played tonight.
No, I mean, obviously you got your younger guys in against Franklin's starting offense, so that's all you can assume. Like, it's just going to happen. That happens every single time.
Unisa Camaro with the extra point. It's low, but it's good. And it's 34-7. And we got a little action after the whistle. Just quickly dealt with. So, Hunterdon Central about to get its first win of the year. Team that did not win last year. For a team like this, what does a win do when you've kind of struggled for a while? What does a win like this do for the confidence of a team heading into next week?
Well, I think this is obviously a huge win like this. 34-7 is a huge boost for Hunterdon Central going into next week against a very athletic Elizabeth team. And I think it's going to really help them. It's going to boost morale completely in the locker room. You're going to see everybody's going to be happier. Obviously, they're going to go in tonight. They're all going to go celebrate. They're going to have a great time in the locker room after the game. And it always happens. Every single time you win a game, you have a great time. But I think this is potentially could be a season-turning game for Hunterdon Central where they can turn it around. And I think guys are going to look around and be like, hey, maybe we can win out and we can have a great season and we could potentially make the playoffs here if they keep playing like this. If the offense moves the ball how well they moved the ball today, they've got a great chance of winning out for the rest of the season.
Well, that would certainly be the objective, and 5-4 in division would get them into a pretty good spot for the playoffs, despite the slow start to the season and the tough schedule. Kamara will kick it away. Sends it low towards the sideline. It goes off a Central player, and then he promptly falls on it. So the clock's running. The offense back out on the field. And the clock hits zeros. It's been 2 years of trying and frustration, but for the first time since November of 2019, Hunterdon Central football is a winner.
I mean, it's just a great moment for Hunterdon Central to finally catch their stride tonight. You could definitely tell the offense looked great, the defense looked great, and I think this might be a turning point for this Hunterdon Central football team. They have the talent to go the distance this year. They have a very talented roster, and I think that this is a great showing for this team.
34-7 the final tonight. Frankie Lenteni throws for 4 touchdowns. Julio Marsiglia runs for another. The Central defense holds the shutout until very late in the fourth quarter, and the Red Devils move to 1-4. Now just about, well, the players are shaking hands on the field. This has got to feel good for Casey Ransone and this coaching staff. The pressure that they were under to finally just get a win any way they could get it. And now they've got it. And I think a much-needed victory also in the context of the season. They could get a win, as you said, get on a roll, maybe get 2 or 3 or 4 in a row, and then you start to believe.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great win for Hunterdon Central, great win for Coach Ransone. I think that there's definitely a lot of pressure on him to get this win tonight, and I think that this was a great showing for the Hunterdon Central football coaching staff and also the players. This was a great job by them. You could tell everybody bought into the program, and everybody's bought into the culture that they're trying to create now, and this is just an overall great game, great win for everybody, and just a great job by Hunterdon Central tonight.
The team, it looked as if they were lining up for some kind of huddle or picture.
All right, Owen, how does it feel like to get a win?
Yeah, it feels great. Finally, me and my boys, we've been working for 2 years to finally get a win. So I'm excited for these guys. I'm excited for our coaches. I'm excited for the fans that came out tonight. So it feels great.
So, Owen, just getting the first score in this game is going to be huge, right? You hadn't led all year. They hadn't led all year. Did that really set the tone?
Yeah, it definitely. We talked about it all week, setting the tone, scoring first, and we did. We executed on our plays. I can't say enough about the way these guys fight, the way we execute. So it felt great to score first, and it set the tone for the rest of the game.
And does that feel like this is a potential turning point?
Absolutely. It only takes one to get the ball rolling. So we're hoping, my boys, me and my boys, we're hoping to get the ball rolling for the next couple weeks. Thank you.
Great job running.
Appreciate it.
What was that first possession like for you guys? How important was it to get that score right away?
We've been dreaming it since the first day. We wanted to strike hard. We've been planning this ever since the first time. We wanted to strike hard. We wanted to strike fast, strike first. We've been getting, pummeled for the past 4 games as they've been hitting, the first touchdown. So for us to hit that first strike, it was a huge turning point, at least for this game. It's really crucial.
Julio, I've noticed your intensity and your enthusiasm has been, it can be contagious for you guys.
Yeah.
What is it like to get that breakthrough win?
Words can't even describe. I mean, you see the emotions that these guys have on their face. It's a relieving feeling to finally have a win after 2 years. We finally get the win, and it's just, I couldn't be more happy for these boys. Couldn't be more happier.
And where do we go from here? Can one win turn the ship around?
From here, we can't just go up. There's nothing more. If we come out with the loss the next game, hey, at least we're busting our butts. But this team that we've transformed into, it's no longer the team from last year or anything. This is a new team, new people, and a new that's coming. It's for the next games, it's going to be all wins. Get sure of it.
Go enjoy it. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was so impressed today with the offense and defensive line play from Hunterdon Central. They controlled the line of scrimmage, and when you control the line of scrimmage, you control the game. So I absolutely love seeing that this week, and hopefully they carry this momentum into next week against Elizabeth.
We'll see if they do, but a great win for Hunterdon Central tonight. 34-7 the final over Franklin. Once again, for my partner Joe Whalen, I'm Jimmy Sullivan. On behalf of our entire crew saying so long for HCTV Live. Thanks for watching.